Once upon a time about 600 years before Jesus Christ was born, a prophet named Lehi felt he was commanded by God to take his family from their home in Jerusalem to the Americas. On the way, they had to retrieve a set of gold plates from King Laban. After a difficult process, they obtained the plates and write their life experiences upon them. Eventually, the family splits into two groups, led by two of Lehi's sons, Nephi and Laman. The plates are passed from Lehi to his sons Nephi and Jacob. The plates are continually passed down from generations of sons. These prophets write record of their experiences with Jesus Christ when he comes to the Americas, just like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John did in the Bible. After the death of Jesus Christ, his gospel and priesthood fades from the earth as his followers also pass away. About 400 years after the death of Christ, right before another Nephite-Lamanite war, Mormon gives the plates to his son Moroni and asks him to seal them in a mountain. After writing his additional account, Moroni buries the plates in the ground on the hill Cumorah shortly before his own death. Fast forward a couple centuries and we're in Europe, with some rather intense religious control from the Roman Catholic Church. A German scholar and priest, Martin Luther, doesn't think that's totally cool. He begins to rebel and is excommunicated from the church. In 1517, he posts his 95 Theses. He and his followers begin Protestant traditions. He was a spark and inspiration for religious freedom. Europeans begin to move to the newly discovered Americas, seeking their own religious freedom. Religious curiosity and establishments also continues through the 17th century and Enlightenment, and America became a dreamy and inspiring location after the 1776 Revolution for Independence. Later, in 1820, a 14-year-old boy named Joseph Smith wasn't satisfied with numerous religions coaxing him to join them. He decides to pray for guidance as to which church to join. According to his account, Joseph sees God and his son Jesus Christ, requesting that he begin the endeavor of restoring the church. He is told where the plates of nearly 2,000 years ago are buried, finds them, and begins translating the plates from Hebrew into English. In 1830, the first copy of the Book of Mormon is published, and the Mormon Church is established, formerly known as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Latter-day Saints refers to the members post-publication of the Book of Mormon. In 1833, the first temple is built. Temples are significant locations for Mormon service aside from regular church worship. Unfortunately, the continuation of the church's progress was no piece of cake. Many surrounding neighbors hated the Mormons and the ideals they attempted to spread. The attack of Haun's Mill in 1838 was one of the most violent, murdering 17 Mormons, including children. Joseph Smith was also jailed soon after. After escaping jail, Joseph Smith continued to lead the church with the Book of Mormon and revelations from God. In 1843, the commandment of polygamy appeared to be necessary for the times. Each man was to take in many wives. Shortly after, Joseph Smith was thrown back into jail, now Carthage jail, where he was murdered by the mob in 1844. Brigham Young then became the leader of the church, due to further revelation from God. Mormons believe that as their prophets pass away, the new one is called through inspiration and discussion among the other members of the presidency. The prophets are also sustained by all members of the church. In 1847, Brigham Young led the saints on a trek to Salt Lake City, where the church headquarters now reside. With the death of Joseph Smith, some members had issues with the new leadership. A few different groups began to break off the church over time, maintaining some original ideas but changing many. Examples include the Community of Christ and the FLDS Church. Brigham Young passed away in 1877. In 1890, President Wilford Woodruff revealed that polygamy is no longer necessary among members of the church. Mormons have not practiced it since then and do not practice it currently. The church continues to be led as it was organized in the beginning. A prophet is called, the prophet has 2 counselors. There is also a quorum of 12 apostles that collaborate with the presidency and have specific duties. There are many other offices in the church for both men and women. Local leaders are established in a similar fashion for geographical areas. In 1950, the church hit 1 million members, and it now has 14 million members. In 1978, The Church publicly announced its recognition for racial equality by giving all worthy men the opportunity to hold the priesthood. The Church's current serving prophet is President Thomas S. Monson. Since its establishment, the Church has called missionaries to spread their gospel if they choose and apply to do so. Young men and women have the opportunity to serve in one of 405 areas worldwide. The Church continues to operate on its values derived from the Book of Mormon, Bible, and life of Jesus Christ, including emphasis on the importance of family, service to all fellow men, and endurance to eternal life and happiness.